Oh my god, my friends. Oh my god. I'm so pumped for this. I'm so pumped for this video. We've got some great stuff to talk about here today. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades. We give technical analysis on different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video today, my friends. We're going to be talking about my girl, ticker symbol MVIS Microvision. Man, I love everything about this company. I've been on this back when they were about $4.50. I hold on to this like you would not believe, and we've got some great stuff to talk about here today. So we're gonna look into the fundamentals, the why. Why should you care? Why is this a good company? I personally do have a position in this company. I'm going to be holding this for the long term. This is a stock that I will not sell for absolutely anything. Probably my favorite stock in the entire market, to be completely blunt with you. And we're going to talk about why that is, the fundamentals. And then we're going to look at some recent news, right? Some speculation that could help drive the price action here and give us an idea of where this might go in the future. And then the meat and potatoes, which is the charts. So I'm going to show you the 1 month chart as well as the 1 day, 1 minute chart to give both a macroscopic and microscopic perspective of the price action. I've got a couple different indicators pulled up, right? The RSI, which is the relative strength index. Anything over 70 is overbought. Anything under 30 is oversold. This gives us an idea of both bullish and bearish buying pressure or selling pressure. And then I've got the 200 EMA and the 15-day MA. The 200 EMA is the exponential moving average. This is a price action based valuation trend line over a 200-day moving period. It gives us a macroscopic perspective of price action. And then the 15-day MA, which is the moving average. Some brokerage accounts call this the SMA, the simple moving average. They are one and the same. This is a 15-day price action based valuation trend line, which gives us a microscopic perspective of price action. When you use these side by side, you do get an idea of when you might see potential breakouts coinciding with overall volume pumping into the stock. So we're going to look at this pretty closely here. And then we're going to give you some potential entry points, exit points, right? If you are looking to get this as a swing trade instead of a long-term hold, which is my personal preference with this company. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get into the video. So what is the why? If you're not familiar with what Microvision does, what they are, who they are, we're going to give you a little bit of a description here. Microvision Incorporated is a developer of laser beam scanning technology. The company markets its technology under the brand name Pico-P. It has developed scanning technology that can be used in products for interactive projection, consumer light detection and ranging, automotive lidar, and augmented and mixed reality. Pico-P scanning technology that can be adopted by its customers to create high-resolution miniature projection and three-dimensional sensing and image capture solutions that use laser diodes as the light source. The company offers key components for inclusion in a scanning engine, including its microelectrical mechanical systems, the MEMS, and application-specific integrated circuits. The company's Pico-P scanning technology incorporates its expertise in two-dimensional MEMS, lasers, optics, and electronics to create a small form factor scanning engine with lower power needs than many other technologies that projects video and still image to capture three-dimensional data. Now, I'm going to pull up their website here for us really quick, just so we can take a quick peek at what these guys do. It does not seem to be pulling up here right now, but I will pull this up really fast for you. So, Microvision, what they do. So let's just take a quick peek at the company. They're basically a technology-based company. If we look at their overall technology, they've got a lot of different stuff. So they've got the patents, right? So patents are a great thing because they guarantee you generated revenue and growth over time. You're guaranteed cash and some sort of income, and you can sell these patents for cash if you are in a tight pinch with financials. We know that's not the case currently with Microvision. We have had the CEO come out forthright and say, hey, we're not in danger of a direct offering, although we might see one here. That was a while back, right? But they're not in danger of, cash issues. So that's a good thing to have in the back pocket, just by the off chance it happens. They've got capital equipment, advanced manufacturing, optomechanical design, MEMS, systems, hardware, silicon, source coding, the whole 9 yards. Then we got the projection engine and interactive projection engine. These are both very small, very sleek, aesthetic, pieces of technology, about the size of a quarter for this and a couple quarters here. So this is cool. It displays right onto a countertop, very similar to what you might see in terms of, other projection engines. But what's different is this is more utilizable in a home setting. So this isn't what gets me really excited. It is cool. It is very cool. The interactive projection engine is much cooler though. So this would be similar to an iPad or a tablet, right, where you can play on this, except you're not going to get your screen dirty, right? You can play, let's say you want to watch, a video on how to make a pizza. While you're making a pizza, you can 100% do that. You've got the consumer 3D lidar sensor, which is absolutely awesome for smart home applications, great for security. It's very adaptable, low latency 3D lidar sensor, very great technology here. They've got the projection engine for head-mounted displays, as well as IVAS technology that is utilized by the the aviation sector of the Army, right? This helps them navigate the skies more clearly, gives them real-time, technological data and feedback based on what's happening in the skies. And you can see that here. Augmented reality is something that is growing in popularity throughout the world, and I can see this really taking off here in the future. So you get this miniature HD display technology to enable the future of AR plus MR plus VR, virtual reality. Well, what gets us really excited is this automotive 3D lidar sensor. This is going to be a big money pinch for these guys. And what's really exciting is they have in the automotive lidar presentation coming here in April, and they did recently release, their prototype on this stuff. So if we look at their prototype for the automotive lidar, I'm just going to pull this up for us really quick. You can take a quick peek at what I'm talking about. So progress on its automotive lidar. The stock went insane. When this did happen, we can look at the charts. This was you can see exactly where it was. I don't even need to say, but you guys get the picture. People went insane over this, right? So Microvision announces progress on its automotive long-range lidar A sample. Their first sample of the lidar. Look how small and sleek that is, my friends. That's tiny. That's awesome. So a leader in MEMS-based laser beam sensing technology today announced that it has received necessary components and equipment to meet its April milestone of completing A samples of its long-range lidar sensor. That's not what I'm excited about here today. What I'm excited about here today is this right here. Check this out. Ford dissolves its 7.6% stake in VELODYNE lidar. Holy Toledo. That's awesome. This is absolutely crazy because Ford, as we know, is trying to get into the autonomous vehicle and electric vehicle game. They had a stake in VELODYNE lidar. My friends, you know what would be the icing on the cake? The icing on the cake is if they invested in Microvision. Oh, that would be insane. I'm not saying that's happened yet, but this was released on February 15th, which is today at 8:37 a.m. Now, that is significant news. Ford Motor Co. has dissolved its stake in VELODYNE lidar Incorporated, a maker of sensors used in self-driving cars, according to a regulatory filing on Monday. As of September 30th, Ford had a passive stake of 7.6% or 13.07 million shares in VELODYNE. So take that with a grain of salt. It is not a large stake in the company. This doesn't indicate they're going to have a partnership, but it does say that, hey, we have interest in this company. We have interest in them doing well. I feel pretty comfortable putting my money here. They took that interest out. VELODYNE is one of several companies vying to supply automakers with lidar, a sensor that generates a three-dimensional map of the road ahead. So this is pretty significant stuff. That's pretty huge. And what also catches my eye is this. Judy Curran is the new. This is a while back. This is December 1st of 2020, but it's still significant. Microvision announces addition of Judy Curran to its board of directors. Check this out. Microvision, an innovative leader in solid-state LiDAR sensor and ultra-miniature laser display technology based on its proprietary laser beam scanning technology, today announced Judy Curran was appointed to its board of directors. Curran is an accomplished senior automotive executive with over 30 years of experience in vehicle program, engineering, and technology leadership. Curran has a strong record of leading innovation at Ford Motor Company, where she served in a number of executive positions, including Director of Technology Strategy, where she developed the cross-vehicle global strategy for key new technologies, including assisted driving, infotainment, new electrical architectures, and connectivity. So, might be a coincidence, who knows, right? But this is definitely something to consider. That's a little bit speculative. That's I would not be surprised in the least bit to see that Judy Curran still has some ties with, Microvision, I shouldn't say Microvision, with Ford and, relations there. I would not be surprised in the least bit to see Ford, end up, looking into Microvision as a company to acquire. Now, what would happen with a Microvision acquisition, right? This is a very, very lucrative process. So in a company acquisition, right? What happens is a company like Microvision would be bought out by a company like, let's say, Ford. It also could be Apple, who is also looking into the autonomous vehicle game, right? Microsoft is. We know that Tesla's already in it, right? And they've already got, the autonomous vehicle. But if they wanted to up their game, it's definitely possible. So with that being said, if they were acquired for, let's say, $10 billion, shareholders would be paid per $1 billion in acquisition a set dollar amount. I have seen different numbers float around. The one that is most common is $7 per share. So let's say that for $10 billion, Microsoft or Ford buys out Microvision, right? You would receive per $1 billion, let's say $7, which would come out to $70 per share with a $10 billion acquisition, which is a very, very lucrative deal. And I honestly don't think that's all that Microvision is worth, the $70 a share. I think they're going to be a much, much bigger company than that if they can really capitalize on this automotive 3D LiDAR sensor. But in a lot of ways, I can see them being a really big leader in this technology industry, similar to Tesla. Now, I know, hold on, that's a bold statement. They're not the same thing, right? But they've got this automotive 3D LiDAR sensor, but they've also got so much other cool technology, my friends. They've got the head-mounted displays, the AR, the MR, the VR, which is honestly a sector in itself that could be a huge, huge moneymaker for any company, right? But they've got this on top of the automotive 3D LiDAR sensor. They've got the security applications for LiDAR. They've got these different projection engines, right? They've got these patents. They've got the silicon design, the hardware design, the systems. This is a huge company, my friends. And I think they could be a big, big, innovative leader, like a monopolization of this huge technology sector. So I love Microvision. This is my favorite stock, probably in the entire market. And that is the why. The why should you care? The fundamentals of the company. Recent news that can really help push the price action here on Microvision. So as it sits right now, we do have the beginning of a little bit of a bullish flag. We did see this break up right here from the 15 MA away from the 200 EMA. If you're able to keep up with the channel, you would have been able to buy in, as I had suggested, at around $7.50. You'd be up over 200% at one point. If you wanted to sell out at $22, you could have very easily done that. In my opinion, you're leaving some briefcases on the table if you grab that bag, but to each their own. To each their own. I'm glad if you secured profits. That is the most important thing about the market. But we had that 15 MA cross over the 200 EMA, the gap up right here, indicating that microscopic price action is gapping up away from the macroscopic price action, right? On the RSI indicator, it was nearing 70, and honestly, the pullback was not that harsh, right? We had a change in points of, 79 down to what would have been about 43, which is only about 35 points. That's not that harsh of a pullback. It indicates a lot of good buying strength. On a Fibonacci retracement, we only gave back at the very lowest about 38%, just about, and anything above 50% on a retracement indicates a lot of buyer strength. So a lot of people are still holding this stock, guys. The volume is awesome, right? We got this great consistent volume coming into Microvision now finally. And when the red days come, you're not seeing as much red volume as green volume, which indicates to me that this is an investor stock, not a trader stock. You're not having people come in here for quick flips. You're getting people that are putting their money here and they're leaving it. And we see this on the charts, the psychology of the charts, because there's a lot of green volume that's not leaving. We see this green volume here, right? Green volume here. On the red day right here. Nowhere near as much as green volume is coming in. This is not a pump and dump in my eyes. I say this all the time. This is not a dead cat. This is not a dead cat. This is not a dead cat. This is a very live cat. I love him. I love Microvision. Anywho, we got that. On the RSI right now, it's trading at about 54. We have got the beginning of this beautiful bullish flag formation, which, if you're not familiar, is essentially a confirmation to buyers that you're about to see some pretty nice, filthy price action. We always look for at least 3 touch points to validate any level of support or resistance. We get that on the top here with this descending level of resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different touch points. We get this on the bottom with the ascending level of support. 1, 2, 3, 4 different touch points, right? So we've got this bullish flag formation, and I would anticipate sometime within the next day, and I'm willing to bet you it'll probably happen here in the pre-market, that you're going to get a nice push above this descending level of resistance. We've got great volume, great consistent volume. On the RSI, it's sitting at 54, so there's not a lot of risk. Pretty decent amount of upside in my mind with Microvision, but not a lot of risk. So what are you going to be looking at for a good entry point into the stock? Well, if you do see it end up pulling back down to about $17.30 or so, I do think that it's going to treat you pretty well as a good entry point. I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen, though. I think there's going to be a lot of great speculation, a lot of hype coming into Microvision, especially with how much action's been happening here. You've got the new, the lidar prototype that did come out here recently. You've got Ford. This is just a perfect storm. Ford getting out of VELODYNE so they can get into, different companies potentially, right? We don't know that for sure, but it is very potential that you do see that happen in the future, especially with Judy Coran as a part of the team of management over at Microvision. I don't know, my friends. I don't know. It seems pretty awesome. I don't want to get your hopes up, but everything about the situation is brewing up absolutely perfect. So if it does end up happening, like I said, I think $17.28, $17.30 is going to treat you pretty well. You may not see that happen, though. So if it doesn't, we do have this very small scale level of support right here on the 1 month chart where you could get in at about $18.25. Now, if you end up getting a bad entry point on this, right, we don't see that pullback to, $17.30, $17.35 or so, right? I feel pretty comfortable with you buying in at the top right here with 54 on the RSI. And that is because right now, we see it sitting at 54 on the RSI, so it's not super overbought. This isn't in crazy buying territory. It's not overvalued, right? So if you buy in at 1850 and it pushes for that 2237, you're not even going to remember that you bought in at 1850. All you're going to be thinking about is, dang, I really wish I had bought more shares. And if you hold this until the end of the year, my friends, I've got a price target on this of $100. If this ends up getting acquired, if they really capitalize on their automotive lidar presentation, their automotive lidar gear, right? I think this company is going to be a huge factor in upcoming, autonomous vehicle games. This is going to be a very highly desired company for many autonomous vehicles. So I feel very good about where we're at right now. I think this is a great long-term hold stock. The charts look absolutely beautiful. We've got great consistent volume. 15 MA trading over the 200 EMA. The RSI sitting at 54, so you're not at a lot of danger or risk for downside. If you get a bad entry point on this, right, you buy it at 1850, it's a false breakdown. It comes back down to 1730 or so. Average down, my friends. You're going to be absolutely fine. I promise you that. Don't panic. This company is going to be a great company. I love everything about this. That is what we're seeing here on the 1 month chart. So if we change over here to the 1 day, 1 minute chart, I am going to clear this off. If you do want to take a peek at the previous, stuff that I did draw up, you can do that. But we did finish the day with the 15 MA crossed over the 200 EMA, which is typically a sign of bullish territory, right? So we've got double confirmation on the macroscopic and microscopic price action saying this is in great bullish territory. On the RSI, we ended the day at 47. So microscopically speaking, just a hair oversold, just a little bit, right? And if you're able to get into this, you know, in the pre-market under 18 bucks, I do think 1730 is the best possible entry point that should treat you pretty well. I think you're going to be very, very happy holding this for even just a month. But I would recommend holding this, you know, for the year. I think you're going to see some great returns. 200%, 300%, 400% very, very easily. And that is what I have for the video today. So if you enjoyed it, please drop a like. It really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. Lastly, I have an affiliate link in the description box down below for Webull. This is version 4 for the desktop. Absolutely great platform. If you use my link, you get 2 free stocks. So the $100 deposit, I receive a free stock. Great way to support the channel, my friends. And if you're not interested, that is totally fine. I just appreciate your support by taking the time to watch my videos. I also dropped the merch link store, the merch store link down in the description box as well if you're interested in that. Thank you for watching the video today, my friends. That is what I have for you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.